Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. SMANSS EduTalk,
Welcome,
welcome leaders. Good morning, SMAN Sumsel friends. How's life down there? I hope you are all doing great everywhere you stay. Well, it's me again, Dian Ratnasari, as the host of this edition of SMAN EduTalk, and I'm here is actually preparing a very special guest star who is SMAN Sumsel teacher who has just come back from joining teacher exchange from USA. I bet that you guys have already curious to see about these kinds of discussions or a short talk. Okay, let's welcome Bapak Ramadansyah, S.Pd, as an English teacher of SMAN Sumatera Selatan. Bapak Ramadansyah, how are you today?
Good, thank you. How are
Great,
you?
great, I'm great. Well, it's such an honor for me to have a discussion, a little talk with you here. Well, let's just jump up to the short talk with us here. So, could you please tell us about maybe your just like yourself first and little experience, because I don't really know about the specific things that you have for the activity of teacher exchange last time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Little bit information about me. I've been teaching English for maybe more than 10 years.
I
maybe
see.
since I was in university.
Uh-huh.
I've been teaching like private and some courses, and I participated and joined the team in SMAN Sumatera Selatan for I think for around 7 years.
Oh,
So it's
quite
been
long.
like a quite long journey.
Okay. So, what about the things that you had when you were in USA? Could you please share a little bit, maybe the names of the program or maybe things that you normally do over there?
Okay, so I participated in Fulbright FLTA program. FLTA stands for Fulbright Teaching Assistant. So FLTA, Foreign Language Teaching Assistant, founded by Fulbright Commission in Indonesia. It is under AMINEF, which we call as American Indonesian Exchange Foundation.
I see, great. Well, it's one of the program from Fulbright, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like a scholarship for like a short exchange teacher for Indonesian teacher to be to teach some kinds of lessons there. Okay. So what is actually the lessons that you teach when you join that kind of program at a time?
So maybe I can talk a little bit about FLTA itself. So
Sure.
FLTA was founded as a U.S. government. They want to invite people from all over the world to share our knowledge about language, culture, and also enrich Americans and have like a mutual understanding
I see.
between people from other countries with Americans. So our mission is actually we have to teach for 2 semesters in the U.S. Institution. So you could teach in like high school or university. For Indonesian, we sent around 11 people last
11
year.
teachers?
Yeah, on
I
my
see.
cohort. So we sent 11 teachers, very bright and very great teachers. So we are teaching Indonesian.
Bahasa Indonesia.
Bahasa
Oh,
Indonesia
great.
for students in U.S. universities. And for me myself, I was sent to Wisconsin, Madison.
Wisconsin Country Park.
So yeah,
Okay.
states of Wisconsin, especially in Madison City. Yeah, beside teaching, I also take some classes. So each semester I have to enroll to 2 classes. So for a year I took 4 classes.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
very great experience so
Yeah,
far.
indeed.
Well, yeah, I am actually still curious about what is actually your motivation to join FLTA, right? So a lot of teacher, I see like you were here as an English teacher and you were really willing to join this kinds of program and you taught Bahasa Indonesia in Wisconsin, right? So what is actually the things that encourage you a lot to join this, Pak Rama?
So if I start with the internal motivation, of course, I've been teaching here, as I said, to you 7 years.
Yep.
Like my students, they came and go, they went to US. Like every year, we send students to
Sure,
US,
AFS
right?
program.
Like through AFS programs. So as an English teacher, I was thinking like, oh, I'm teaching them English. We send them to US, but when is the time for me to see US, like to see out there? We can say that as a teacher, you can talk like anything about, okay, what happened in the US, what happened in the UK, but well, actually, I haven't actually experienced that. So I wanna have like a first-hand experience. I wanna experience it by myself, and I was a little bit like, I can say, envy to my students
Yep.
because they went to US and I have to, I
Ah.
must. So that's my internal motivation, and also I want to like encourage and motivate my students, of
I see.
course. So like my students in grade 10, for example, they just came here, fresh start, like in a very nice English environment. I want them to see that their English skill is actually can help them like reach something beyond what they have in Palembang, South
Great.
Sumatera. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got a little thing that experience is the best teacher
Yes.
that you got from USA,
sure.
and you are willing to share it here to your students and others here, right? Okay, great. And talking about FLTA, one of the program from Aminef, right? So. Could you please share to us about maybe some people out there, some audiences, or even me? Sometimes I get the inspiration, oh, I think I need to join this because I am inspired a lot by Pak Rama, maybe, right? So could you please tell us about the things that we have to prepare, maybe start from, I don't know, maybe TOEFL, right? And other kinds of administrative things. Could you please just have a little
Yeah.
bit, okay, sharing with us, yeah?
Thank you. So for you as biology teacher, I don't think it is suitable for you
Okay.
for FLTA, but for people like a teacher, English teacher and Indonesian teacher out there, maybe you can just join FLTA. So FLTA is actually for Indonesian Bahasa Indonesia teacher and also English teacher.
Oh, I see.
So you can be like high school teacher. Also, you could be like lecturer in university. Yeah, the basic, like the minimum requirement is actually, first have a strong willingness and motivation.
Yeah.
And of course, you have to prepare some essays.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and some recommendation letter from your boss. Yeah, so I asked.
Maybe here we can ask from
I asked
principal, right?
From principal.
Yep, okay.
And some people like my senior in like Bu Naya, and also at that time I asked Miss Wirda because she
Yep.
was like she's a Fulbrighter
Fulbrighter,
just
yep.
like me.
Okay.
So I asked their recommendation letter, and I wrote essays and took TOEFL. Like, if I'm not mistaken, the minimum is around, for ITP is around 550.
550?
Yeah,
It
if
is
I'm not
the
mistaken.
minimum score for
Yeah.
applying to this
Yeah,
program.
yeah.
So it means it just, I have to improve my score if I
Yeah.
want to join, because my
Yeah.
score maybe just like under 550. Okay,
Uh-huh.
what about your score at this time?
I really cannot tell.
Maybe the
Really.
range, maybe?
It was like still less than 600.
But
because-
up to 550
Because it was
for sure.
online at that time
Uh-huh.
during pandemic. It
Uh-huh.
was very new for me to do that online. Usually we come to the institution, we do the TOEFL
Yep.
test on the spot.
Yes.
It was like too much for me, right? It was in like a very short period of time. So yeah, I got like less than 600. So
But again, you were in the end accepted.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Aminef will give you another TOEFL test,
I
like
see.
IBT.
Once you accept,
Yeah, once
accepted?
you are like the candidate,
Uh-huh.
they will assign you for like TOEFL.
another
IBT.
kinds of
Yeah, another
TOEFL
test.
test, IBT test.
Yeah, IBT test.
I think IBT test is a little bit harder than ITP, right?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's like walking on fire for me. Because actually we are accustomed to like TOEFL ITP, institutional paper-based TOEFL, and I had to take IBT, and it's online, and it really measures all the skills in
For
English.
capabilities, right?
Yeah, reading, writing, speaking, you name it.
Yep. I've never did any kinds of IBT test before.
You should do.
I'd like to ask your tip and tricks maybe.
Yeah, why not? Our library is very full of resources.
Yeah. Okay. It's very nice to see it. I have another thing to ask actually. Joining this kind of program, it must be a quite tough process, right?
It is.
So yeah, and do you have maybe any kinds of obstacle or frictions when you join this? Maybe from your own perceptions, or people out there also felt that's the same things,
Okay.
things like that.
I can say the obstacle is actually the process is too long. I applied in around April 2021.
April
Yeah,
2021.
it
First
took
time
like
you
a
applied.
year before you actually went to US.
I see.
So
Okay. I'm
it is
curious
like
about
a
the process.
long process.
Okay.
So you apply, they have the website, you fill
Ah.
everything in, ask recommendation letter, TOEFL, attach everything, write your essay. That's the important part.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they want to know your motivation, right?
Sure.
If I'm not mistaken, there are around 2 essays. The first one is motivation.
Motivation letter.
The second one is actually talking about culture, how we can actually share our culture, because as an FLTA, you are not only teaching, but also you are like the ambassador of your nation.
I see.
And also there are 3. The last one is actually asking you about your preferred teaching method.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are 3 essays.
So
That was
first
it.
step is actually administrative requirement.
All the essays.
All
and-
essays and all maybe like
Recommendation
your
letter.
recommendation letter, TOEFL, a certificate, and other kinds of form that you have to fill. That's the first phase.
Then you wait.
You have to wait.
You have to wait
How
until
long that we
you,
have
you
to wait?
got the email. You know.
Okay, around maybe 1 month, more than 1 month,
More.
6 months,
More.
more.
No, it's less than 6.
Oh, I see.
And then they said to you around September, October, they send email saying that you are the candidate.
I see.
You're not probably things happen, you cannot go, right? So you're the candidate. There will be some process, which is like the TOEFL IBT.
Oh, that's the second phase.
interview. Well, interview first and then TOEFL IBT.
Oh, means that the second phase is interview.
Interview.
So once we accepted for the administrative one,
Yeah.
join interview. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you please share about your interview experience for this program?
God, it was. I've actually, when I was in university, I applied for UGrad. if I'm not
UGrad.
mistaken. Yeah.
Yep, I ever heard about it.
Yeah, I did the interview. It was like messed up because I was someone new in
In
the
that kinds
kind
of
process.
environment, okay.
And because I had experience before, a lot of experience through interview, so yeah, I made it. They asked me about little tips, for people who wants to apply for scholarship. I think don't think too much for interview, because if they are professional interviewer, they will ask whatever you send to them. So whatever you wrote,
okay.
you have to be honest, right? Honesty is important. So they will ask whatever you wrote, and people can tell if you are lying or.
Okay, it means during the interview session, apart from asking some kinds of, maybe they prepare some questions, they also cross-check the things that you wrote on the essay.
For sure.
Whether it is true, or maybe like robot write it for you, things like that, right?
Yeah. Or AI.
Yeah,
whatever,
AI
right?
now, because yes, AI is very famous nowadays,
And
right?
also they gave me some Indonesian Bahasa Indonesia questions.
Bahasa Indonesia questions.
Yeah,
in
they
a
want to
form-
know my skill.
Okay,
like
so-
writing, reading, things like that.
So you are doing those questions like after the interview.
Mhm.
Okay, they prepare just like a paper test.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you are they want to know about your quality, maybe the capability of Bahasa
Bahasa
Indonesia,
Indonesia.
because you're gonna be teaching that kind of lesson
Yeah.
in Wisconsin. Oh, okay. What about the country part? Do you choose by yourself, or they prepare for you?
Yeah, that's a nice question. We cannot choose.
Yeah,
So
okay.
they have Fulbright. They have the system. They call it matching system.
Oh.
Let's say Indonesian will be sent to 10, for example, 10 states. Usually it's always the same states. Like we send to Harvard, we send to Yale, we send to Columbia, Madison, of course, Illinois, Colorado, Boulder, Ohio. What else? There are 11,
And a lot
if I'm not
more.
mistaken. In the past, it was even like 12. They also sent to Hawaii.
Oh, I.
So,
Oh, great.
so they will give us like 5 options, and we have to rate which one is our priority.
I see.
And the university will read our essay and also our bio, and also they will rate us.
Oh, I see.
So it's like matching system. We'll never know. But I'm glad I end up in Wisconsin because I love the city.
Yeah, lucky you then. So, okay. Another things I am still curious from you actually. Apart from knowing the process, like, so the end of the process is maybe just the announcement, right? Once you have done the interview and then the paper-based
TOEFL.
test, things like that, and then they will just give the announcement, isn't it?
They will announce that you are like the priority candidate, but the process is there were some process like medical checkup.
Medical checkup.
I had to come to a hospital by myself, did the medical checkup by myself, and it was like, I think it was after Idul Fitri.
Last year?
Yeah, and the
Okay.
and the range is like they only gave me like 3 weeks. I didn't read the email.
Oh, okay.
It was
And
like 2
how did you
weeks.
know?
Finally, I read the email because during holiday,
I
I
get-
don't
okay.
really check my phone. So then I checked my phone, email, there was email, I was like shocked, and I rushed to the hospital and things like that.
Oh, I see. So once you complete all the medical checkup things
And vaccine.
and vaccination for sure, because at the time it was still just like right after pandemic, or maybe still on a pandemic.
There are some requirement like polio,
Another kinds of
PPT, and
vaccinations,
things like that.
a very complete pack of
Yeah,
vaccinations.
complete, yeah.
Okay. Well, about vaccinations, it means once you have done the complete pack of the vaccinations, what should be next then?
Okay, after you've done with the vaccine, it took like around a month. And also, of course, visa application.
Visa application.
Although it is under U.S. government, but we still like as a who we are, right?
Sure.
we went to Jakarta to U.S. embassy to apply for a visa interview. It was only a day.
A day.
And they will call you whether it is done or not. So they will give you the passport a day before your departure.
Okay. How long it takes to complete the application of visa from US?
Not too long because I had no problem, but my friend, she got problem. It took her like, I don't know, less than a month.
Less than a month.
Like we already departed, but she was still here, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, completing the visa application
Yeah, because
while
the-
you have flight to
There was
US.
something happen.
Okay.
Things happen,
So bad. Okay, great. As you said in the beginning, you were teaching Bahasa Indonesia,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
yes.
could you please maybe share your experience about your students there, because they are different, right? They are foreigner, right? And here you also teach English, right? So could you please tell us about that experience?
By the way, do you want like honest answer or not?
Sure, I want
That's
an
right.
answer.
Okay. Honestly, I've never been teaching
Indonesia.
Bahasa Indonesia.
At all?
Although
Oh.
I can say that like since I was in elementary school, like language, Bahasa Indonesia, English is like the top.
Or
like,
second, first, or maybe?
I mean, my score has always been good
Okay.
in languages class.
Yeah.
But teaching Bahasa Indonesia is a different thing. Yeah? It was very challenging at the very beginning because, honestly, because of like in here I talk and teach in English like almost 24 hours.
Sure.
Even with my family, I'm talking in
You
English.
talk in English?
So when I had to talk in Bahasa Indonesia, it's kind of like awkward. Sometimes I don't know the word, but fortunately I got a very nice support from my mentor, advisor, the lecturer over there. They're both of them are Indonesian. They've been teaching there for years in the US. So
Teaching Bahasa Indonesia?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
see.
So I was so privileged and lucky to be able to meet them as my advisors, so I could learn how to teach my own national language to Americans.
Okay, very nice to hear about the experience. And maybe you have any kinds of examination, like once you have done some chapters, like we have in the national curriculum here, right? So in Bahasa Indonesia, we have like a daily exam, maybe. So did you also apply that kind of activities with your students over there?
For sure.
Sure.
Because we
Okay.
are teaching, we need to evaluate and assess our students' progress, right? Well, as I said to you, I was teaching in university. So you've been in university, right? We have like a meet,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
daily quiz, things like that. And I said to you, I was privileged and lucky to be able as mentored by those two advisors. They've been teaching Indonesian for years. I learned a lot, especially in the way we create our teaching materials. Yeah, I learned especially for preparing for like reading activities, because I'm teaching all the levels. Yeah,
Great.
I was assisting all the levels, especially the highest level.
Oh.
So, if I can say, there are like 3 classes. So the first one is like a beginner. They had no idea about Indonesian. They even didn't know where is Indonesia.
Oh yeah.
So it was my
Oh my God.
chance and my job to actually introduce them
The
to
culture. I
yeah,
guess.
teaching Indonesian in the US is not only teaching the language, but also we need to introduce them to the culture,
Yep.
because it's
Our
like
culture.
connected. Yeah, language and culture cannot be separated.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are 3 levels: beginners,
Yeah, and the middle
Intermediate,
class,
maybe?
yeah, intermediate,
And advanced.
advanced. And for the advanced, usually my students were, like they took doctoral degree.
Oh.
Yeah, because they want to have research in Indonesia, so that's why they take Indonesian classes to support their research.
Great.
Most of them are like anthropologists,
Anthropologists.
botanists. They want to learn about maybe the plants or the people,
Yep.
like the tribes and
Whenever
the
they
culture.
come here, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So is that included in the legal curriculum? I mean, like Bahasa Indonesia, they have a normal class. Is it in the end it will be included in their maybe like a report GPA or things like that, or they just take it for like optional lessons or things like that?
For sure, I don't know in another state, but in Wisconsin, especially UW Madison, every student, they must take at least one foreign language,
Oh, I see.
whatever it is. So my office is actually like all the languages over there in different floor. We have like Chinese, like
Korean.
Asian, you know, like Spanish, Arab, and African language. All the languages that you cannot think of.
I see.
Yeah, and that's why I had time to meet a lot of people from another country. Yeah.
Great. It's such an amazing experience, actually. Well, I got one last thing to ask from you, actually. From joining, from the very beginning, you prepare any kinds of documents and doing interview up until you were accepted as a one of the FLTA Fulbrighter, and you taught 1 year in medicine, and I am still curious about things maybe that you can share with us here, maybe things that you think is very important, it's very urgent for me to share to my students, or maybe to the teachers, or even to the audiences here in our edition here, things like that.
Well, I learned a lot of things, but if I have to highlight one thing, that you have to be open-minded in a way that you need to have empathy and also understand others people's feeling and background, and you have to become like an empty glass. So when you come to a new environment in a new institution, like empty out your glass to absorb, to learn like new things, because I learn new things every day over there.
I see.
For example, I was thinking like my friend saying that, oh, your English is already good, but when I came there, one of my American friends, she's my close friend, she said, when we are like having groceries together, and she always said, no, you shouldn't pronounce that way, it should be this way. So for example, we usually say salmon.
Yep.
Actually, it's like silent, salmon.
Salmon.
There's no L.
We don't have to pronounce
Yeah,
L. Oh,
the
okay.
L is silent.
Salmon.
So a lot of things that I learned. Yeah, new things always.
Sure. So I believe that that kind of moment, that kind of program has been both your experience, both teaching and also life experience, right? And I can bet that this is one last question for me, actually.
Okay.
I want to get some, maybe you can share like some tricks for people out there, for the audiences, what is actually they need to have if they are someday maybe willing to join this kind of program like you.
So if you want to join Fulbright FLTA, for sure you have to prepare your essay, asking for a recommendation letter, and also improve your TOEFL, for sure. That's the first phase. The other phase is actually just be honest and show what you can do.
Okay.
And if you are in the US, I mean, although it's tough, but try to see it in different perspective.
Okay.
Because everything have like black and white and good and bad. So
Okay.
if you're not open-minded, you will be stressed out with the new environment, and it's gonna turn bad.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Pak Rama, for kindly sharing your experience, anything related to the preparation of Fulbright program, FLTA. I hope that we can have more gorgeous moment or edition like SMANSS EduTalk edition in the future.
Thank you.
And yes, me also, maybe sometimes I will also like having some chit chat with you here as a teacher to get more tips and tricks. Okay. Well, everyone, it's almost the end of our session today, and thank you very much for watching us here. And I actually would like to encourage you to get more kinds of videos from our schools. Don't forget to check and subscribe on our YouTube channel SMAN Sumatera Selatan and our Instagram account @SMANSumsel. Okay, thank you very much for watching us here. Thank you for having us. And lastly, SMANSS EduTalk. Well done, leaders. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.